Tech Garage, presented by RockAuto.com, is brought to you by Steel Rubber Products, quality crafted rubber parts and weather stripping, and by RockAuto.com, all the parts your car will ever need. Still rolling along here at Tech Garage, presented by RockAuto.com. Earlier in the show, we showed you on the Tahoe how we had a problem with the brake light, the ribble warning. It's the red brake warning light. And once that came on, we knew we had a brake fluid level sensor issue, and that's this little part right here, Tom. We went to the dealer, they didn't have it. And we were surprised to find that a dealer-only item, or what we thought would be, was on RockAuto.com.
Yep, yeah, it's the same as for brick and mortar traditional parts stores. There's just so many different makes and models and model years and part numbers. There's just no way to stock it in one location. So that Rock Auto is perfect for that. We not only have that part, but we have a choice of brands, the OE brand and then a couple of famous brands.
And this is genuine GM parts. This is the OE brand right here. And there were 3 different choices, I think, of this particular sensor as well. And the thing that was fascinating, we showed you how this is magnetic. It doesn't actually touch the fluid. There's a sort of a plunger or a bobber in there, if you will. Are there other sensors on vehicles like this today?
Yeah, they used to use a plunger where it was actually something floating in the fluid, and the fluid drops and the plunger goes down. But yeah, the sensor that never touches the chemical engine oil level works the same way. It's often larger, but yeah, the same technology.
RockAuto.com keeps up with the latest technologies, but also goes way, way back. Your catalog extends way back to the dawn of the automobile. Yep. What kind of cars are we looking at? Classics, of course.
Yeah, most of our customers are buying parts for their daily drivers. They drive every day, but if you have an old car or a classic going back to the early 1900s, we can help.
Well, RockAuto.com has all the parts your car will ever need, no matter how old or how new the car is, or how big or how small the part may be. Let's see what John Gardner's up to over there.
Well, it always amazes me what they have at the RockAuto.com desk, and that includes air-conditioned parts. This garage, Ed, is all about the TXV thermostatic expansion valve and the orifice tube, the pressure differences of the system, of where it's going to change from a high pressure to a low pressure. Let's take a look at this graphic right here. You can actually see the orifice tube system. Now, it all starts at the compressor. And a couple of weeks ago, Josh taught us about that compressor, where it's actually taken that gas in as a low-pressure gas and changing it to a high-pressure gas. And as it does that, it actually heats it up, sends it down to the condenser. Now the condenser is taking that high pressure gas and it's changing it. It's condensing into a liquid and it's giving off the heat to the outside. It's actually throwing it off, comes out a liquid, and then it goes over to that orifice tube. And Josh, that's what it's all about today. Tell me about the orifice tube.
That's right, John. Generally speaking, it comes in on this side. This side usually filters it, and then it comes out on this side where there's a finer mesh, helps atomize the refrigerant, so you get a better, more efficient cooling capacity with your refrigeration system. So if you look over here at this one's clogged up pretty good. You're not going to have good refrigerant flow. It's going to be clogged, and your AC performance is going to suffer. Now, if your AC performance is suffering, you determined you need a different orifice tube. Sometimes you have to replace the entire line to be able to replace that orifice tube. So in our case right here, I have to buy this whole line just to get the orifice tube. But if you're lucky enough, you can replace the orifice tube yourself and just pull it out with needle nose pliers. Sometimes they're locked in there. If they're locked in there, you have to get a special tool that'll grab onto it, give it a little twist, it locks on, and you pull it right out and you can replace that orifice tube.
Or you may have a TXV system, a thermostatic expansion valve. Now let's take a look at the graphic there as well. See the compressor again, once again sending that refrigerant, which is hot gas, down to the condenser, and that condenser changes states. This time it goes through an actual receiver dryer up to that TXV or thermostatic expansion valve. Now I got a cutaway right here that's really cool, and I can show you how it works. This one is a precise measuring device. The orifice tube, well, that's just fixed. What happens and goes through there is what you get. This one is precise. Why? Well, we have this sensing bulb right here, and this thing's on the outlet of the evaporator. Perfect place to sense temperature. That lets the TXV either open or close precisely and allows that refrigerant in or out of that evaporator, controlling the temperature temperature. Now you can also have this as an H block. It's the same principle. It's a TXV here, kind of built in right here in the system to where the refrigerant's going to go through. Well, whether you have a TXV, a thermostatic expansion valve, or an orifice tube, that's the control device you need to keep the temperatures and pressures right in your system. Well, that's a wrap for Garage Ed. Let's head over to Dave and wrap this whole show up.
All right, well, I cleared the codes on the Tahoe here, cycled the key, checked for codes again. No more codes. That means this Tahoe is ready to roll down the road problem-free, John.
Yeah, and that's a good thing because this is my wife's Tahoe and I have to bring it home to her, and I may wear this lab coat home, Dave.
That is none of my business.
That's a whole other subject. But hey, you guys, you want to join us next week because we're going to have some audience participation. And man, I hate to say this oh, my Lincoln Town Car I said was bulletproof is making a racket. Listen to this.
We don't know what that sound is, and we're hoping you might have a guess, so you can email us at feedback@techgarage.tv. Tell us what you think the problem might be. We're going to find out together.
Yeah, we will, and we'll read your emails on the air, so get them in quick. Next week, we'll tackle the town car, but for this week, we're done. So we'll see you next time for more Tech Garage presented by rockauto.com.
Where do I get one of those?
Yeah, right?
Production assistance provided by Chipola College in Marianna, Florida. Chipola was founded in 1947, and it was recently ranked among the top 3 community colleges in the United States.